I've had some folks recently ask about the best way to create a template. And with the new artificial intelligence, you're getting all of that experience going through and optimizing the borrowing. So we're looking at how do we make this super fast for you to use? Well, one way to make this even faster is to create a template with all of your kind of typical setups, so to speak, your favorite scenarios. So let's go ahead and do a quick client plan. I'm going to create a new client plan, okay, but I'm going to use this for a template. So I'm going to call this a template, and I'm going to call this my refinance template. So notice what I'm doing is I'm putting in refinance template as my client name. So you'll notice here, this makes it easy to find. It says refinance template. I've also got template in the plan title. And I would simply go through and answer all the questions that I believe are going to be consistent. I wouldn't know income or tax bracket or credit scores, but I could go in and put in liability. My typical client has a mortgage. So I'm going to go and put in the mortgage. So I can just go through and set up. Most of my clients have an auto. So you can set up things that you think might be pretty typically there for your clients. Important objectives I wouldn't know a whole lot about. But you'll notice this allows me to go through and then go through to the Borrow tab. And there's not going to be anything in here. But let's say that what I would like to do is I would like to have my default have the 15-year fixed here. And I want that to be my first scenario. So I'm going to go in here and put that in. I'm going to put the 15-year fixed. I wouldn't know property value. I wouldn't know LTV or loan amount. So I'm just asking myself, what are the things that I would typically know? My property taxes and stuff, if I've set those in my defaults. And remember now, on your profile, when you click on your profile and you click on your defaults, that's where you can set all these defaults here for which programs are available, as well as your defaults for things such as taxes, insurance, MI, closing costs, etc. So if I put in my default property tax rate in my area is 1.25% and my HOI is 0.35%, then that's all I have to set up. And once there is an actual loan amount in here, it's going to automatically calculate those taxes and insurance numbers based on that loan amount. But they're all zero now because I have no loan amount in here. But let's say that my second alternative that I typically do is a 30-year fixed. And I go ahead and I set that up. So you could say, well, this isn't going to save me a lot of time, but I just want to show you there are going to be situations where a template might make a lot of sense for you. For example, I have some guys that are doing, they work as on-site lenders at a large builder. So they've gone through and they've created templates for each of the models that they work with. And they've called their template by the model name, the Devonshire, the Knightbridge, and each property already has their sales price and their other information all loaded in there. So I can go through, and let's say my default is 1% in closing costs and 1% in points, and then my average closing cost is about $2,200, and our average closing cost for this is about $2,200. And I'm asking myself, what are the questions that I can go ahead and pre-answer for a typical client? I can go to the Present tab, and let's say that my favorite report is the Wealth Report. I'm going to go and click that. That's going to highlight everything. And I also want to attach my company brochure. And again, if you're not familiar with that, on your profile page, click Profile. Right here, there's add a PDF to reports. This can be any PDF that you have, a company brochure, information about yourself, your unique mortgage process. You can attach this PDF to your profile, and then when you're over here working on a plan and you create your Present tab, you can say on your Present tab, you can say, I want to always attach this PDF file here. So what have we done? We've just gone through and created a simple template. Now let's go back to the Manage tab, and I can see this is my refinance template. So it's real easy to find and remember. Okay? And let's say I wanted to do another one called a purchase template. I click Create a New Plan, and this time I'm going to click Purchase. And I'm going to call this one Purchase. I'll call this Template. And then for my client name, I will also call this Purchase Template. And the same thing, I'll go through and answer all the questions that I can answer for that particular property that I think is going to be consistent from plan to plan. Now, how does this help me? So let's say you have a client coming in and they are going to refinance. I could click the Create New Client button, but I would be starting from scratch. But what I could also do, and see, I'm going to be starting from scratch, and I'll have none of that information in there. So what I want to do is I want to actually use my refinance template. But if I click my refinance template and I start editing it, I'm editing my main template. I don't want to do that. So all I do is I look into my clients, and one way to do this, and the simple way to do it, is to put in template and click search. And that's going to find all of my plans that have the word template. And I see there's my refinance template. And then what I want to do is duplicate that client. So I click the duplicate button. And now notice I have refinance template copy in my plans. It keeps my original refinance template just like it was, and it gives me a new one called copy. Now I click that copy button and I start to edit it. This is 1238 Main Street, and the client name is Joe and Mary Swanson, and I'm right in my plan now, but you'll notice all of my defaults that I put in for my template are going to be here, and that just gives me that little bit of extra edge in terms of speed. If a client was coming in right now to purchase a home, I could click the Create New Client Plan button, and this time I would click that and go Purchase, and what's that going to do? That's going to allow me to start a fresh new plan. But my alternative is, once I get all my templates set up, I just put in template in my search. I look at all of my templates, and there's purchase template. And then once I click that purchase template, I'm going to click the duplicate client button. That's going to, so I see my purchase template. I click duplicate client, and you'll notice it's going to put in here a purchase template copy. So now I can go through and simply use that plan. I can click the purchase template copy. Now remember, I can actually do multiple plans under a single template if I want to. And I can create new plans off of that template by simply adding a plan, and it will continue to use that original template. But I recommend, because you're going to typically use your template for a new client, that you actually just go through and click and create a copy and then edit that plan and go right into that plan and begin using it the way you would normally to start up a new purchase. Because again, I've got purchase here. Now I'm going to do is put in my contract price, and I'm going to change this plan template here. If I'm in the simple plan, I might put the address here, East Main, and I'll go through and assign it to my referral partner. This one came in from, let's see, Carolyn Lucas, who's a realtor I work with, and then I'll shrink that up. And then I'll go through and put in the client name, Jim and Marcia Halpern. And again, away I go. But all of the information that I put in earlier for that purchase template will be there, and it can just save me a few extra steps. So hopefully that helps. And remember, to clean up your stuff, it's easy. If I click on the purchase button right here to click click a plan right here, it brings it to the top, and I can just go through and say delete that client, and it's going to take that client and all of their plans away. So these little ones here that I put together, same sort of a thing. I can click on them, click the delete client button and get rid of them. So think of your templates, they're just client records, but instead what's unique about them is by setting up the template one time, and once I set it up, searching for that template, all my templates, anything that has templates is going to show up, clicking on that template, I want to use the refinance template, and then duplicating it. That's going to make a copy and set me up to be able to use that template again and again and again and again. If you ever make a mistake and you accidentally click refinance template and you edit and create that, it's no big deal. That just becomes your new plan, and you'll just come in and create a new plan, name that template, and set up a template once again. Hope that helps. Templates can be a great time saver, especially I've had folks say that what they're doing is, for example, they've created an FHA template or a 80-10-10 template. So they've gone ahead and set up the structure for their financing with 3% or 97%. So if you knew it was going to be FHA as a purchase, you could have purchase. You might come in here and put in your 97 or your 96. You can go through and put in your property value. I mean, you could go ahead and templatize this thing up very quickly. So I'm going to do a 30-year fixed. It's going to be 97, and and away you go. And then when you come in to do that, you would just simply open up your FHA template. And then you would begin and you would copy it, duplicate it, and then begin using that for your new purchase. So anything that requires a little bit of extra setup, builder models. I've had someone that supports a small group of financial advisors, and he's done a template for each financial advisor. So he's gone in and selected a different referral partner, and he's put in their preference. For example, one advisor wants all of his clients to see a 15-year fixed. He's got another advisor in the same group that wants all of his clients to see an interest only. So he's set up the type of loan recommendations that that particular advisor wants through a conversation. What would you like me to recommend to your client? And by doing that, he's got a template for each individual name. He can just come in here and click the Jim Peterson template or the Mark Halpern template and bring it right in, and he knows that all of his default settings are set up for that advisor. So lots of creative ways to use templates. They're easy to set up. Just create your plan and save it. Just put template in the title and template in the name, and it'll be easy to keep you from accidentally writing over that template in the future. Hope this helps, and have a great day.